Why do I do what I do? There was a life-changing moment for me, sat on a hospital bed, listening to a consultant describe my future. And not only describing, but actually acting out how I would soon be moving and walking. And he firstly asked me if I knew how lucky I was. And then he went on to say and describe the image of a very frail, elderly appearing woman hobbling down the street. And he said, you know, when you see those older women and they're all frail and they're bent over and they've probably got a stick and they look really elderly and their spines have deteriorated. And well, basically, that'll be you. You'll just get there sooner. You'll just get there sooner than would be expected. And then he proceeded to walk around this room that I was sat in doing this impression. He said, it'll look a little bit like this. And I am frozen, sat on this bed, screaming in my head, thinking, you cannot be serious. At the time, I was 26, 27. Couldn't speak, feeling kind of intimidated, actually. Didn't feel like I had a right to speak or ask any questions, certainly not challenge what I was being told or ask how this could be avoided or is it inevitable? And I just remember screaming in my head, you cannot be serious. So, following on from that, I did everything I was told from every kind of expert to build strength, to restore movement and function, and to basically be a really obedient outpatient at that point. And yet, I still had pain. I still felt disconnected. I still struggled with self-worth and confidence and self-esteem. I still had IBS symptoms and I had restricted movement. And it just didn't make sense to me. And then fast forward probably about 10 years, I am introduced to this method of clinical somatics. And I had my first experience and it blew my mind. And I dived into it and I started to feel the most comfortable and move the most freely than I had in years, even before my injury to my back. And this really blew my mind. So I was no longer dependent on others to get out of pain. I was no longer dependent on pain relief because actually my pain was just reducing constantly through this practice. I could move more freely than I ever did. Symptoms were disappearing. That's why I stuck with this practice. I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know what this is, but I got to keep going with it to move freely and to be out of pain and to do all the things that I love to do, walking and hiking and climbing and cycling, all that stuff that was actually difficult and painful at times, or my pain was made worse when I did them. So this was incredible. I was like, wow, this is why I'm enjoying this, and I want to share this with other people. Why don't people know about this? But actually, what deepened my devotion to this for my own practice was I went into it because of movement and pain, or restricted movement and pain. But actually, what it gave me was so unexpected. What it gave me was a connection with who I really am underneath all the armor, all those layers of personality and coping mechanisms. What this practice actually gave me was a way of being able to recognize them, peel them away, and reveal who I really am. To peel away those layers of compensations, to understand myself in a way that I'd never really understood myself, and to deepen the connection with myself, and in so doing that, deepen my connection with other people. And that was such an unexpected outcome of this. It helped me to experience life from a place of feeling more whole than I'd ever felt, understanding myself as a whole system, not a mind, not an emotional sense, not a physical sense, but just a combined whole, incredible system. And it helped me to understand how I experience life and how that can get stuck within me. How I can carry years, layers of tension and discomfort, be that emotional, psychological, or physical. I started to recognize through this practice that how I live, how I respond to life, affects how I feel, how I function, how I show up, how I interact with the world and with myself. And life happens every day. Every single day, I'm absorbing what life has to offer me through this structure, through this system. And so this is a continual process through my life of learning and effectively peeling away the layers that might build up that can really effectively cover over who I truly am, the essence of me, and connection and ease of movement. This is why I keep coming back to this practice. This is why it's just embedded within my life. There is no alternative. Just like I would never dream of not brushing my teeth, I would never dream of going through days and weeks without taking time to explore my somatic process, to effectively release any layers and build-up that isn't helpful to carry forward. This is why I keep this practice alive within me, why I'm so devoted and intentional about it. And this is not just for me. And this is not my knowledge to keep. And the absolute joy of sharing this approach, how to explore it, how to embody it, how to bring it into your life, being in a position where I'm able to share that with other people, for anyone who wants to choose this for themselves, is one of the greatest, most humbling privileges. This is not my knowledge to keep. I'm here to share this far and wide, shout it from the rooftops, because it's not mine to keep. And essentially what this practice comes down to is freedom, autonomy, connection. And if there is just one quality by which I want to live my life, it's about freedom. And this practice, this way of experiencing myself and life, is what continually reconnects me with myself and provides that freedom from conditioning, from the impact of struggles or difficulties. This keeps me centered and balanced. Whatever I respond to and whatever emotional states I experience or challenges or struggles, I'm able to come back to a place where I can feel me. So I'm so less likely to get stuck in those places that I've been stuck in the past. And to be able to share that with others, so others are able to create that freedom from within, to feel that connection with themselves and to indulge in the unlimited possibilities that life has to offer. I mean, what could be greater? What could be a greater honor? And whilst I've always been focused on helping people to live their life with more ease, with less conflict, I've done that in different roles over the last 25 plus years. actually, this is a practice, this is an approach that is so deeply accessible to all. And I'm here to share it far and wide. And this is what I feel devoted to. If we can live in a world where there is more connection, more compassion, more freedom, then that is a world that I will happily, joyfully continue living in. This is my why. It all comes down to freedom and connection. And it's just such an honor to be able to share that with the world. One soma at a time. It all begins with us. If we haven't met, my name is Karen. I'm founder of Somatic Habit. I teach this practice through classes, through my 90-day program. I have the book, Somatic Movement. And it is such a great honor to be able to share this. Thank you for listening.